Hey, Craig, let's get into some coffee talk.
Hey, I love it. I love doing some coffee talk.
Well, talk about what?
Dogs, daughters, whatever. It's coffee talk.
Coffee talk.
Welcome to Coffee Talk. Well, this is going to be different. So, Mr. Craig doesn't even know this, but hello, Mr. Craig. This week, I am recording this on my own. I'm going to ask Mr. Craig a question, and Mr. Craig will answer. It'll be really fun. It's like a game. So, just wanted to throw this out there. We've been doing the agency for a while, opened up the scratch agency, and now we've been doing the insurance dudes now for a while. And it made me reflect a little bit, and it made me think about how, everything when you start it is so much fun, but it seems like a ton of work, and it seems like a struggle. But then in hindsight, anytime you've kind of reached the peak of any mountains that you climb, you realize that you had a lot of fun on that journey. Like, it wasn't about the destination. It's about the journey. And when you reach that destination, you usually, at least for somebody like me, and I think Mr. Craig is the same way, when you reach the peak, you set sights higher. So you're constantly on this journey. I used to get really frustrated about the journey. I'd always want to be to the destination. But I've realized throughout this, throughout my 40 years of experience in life, that the journey is so much fun. I now look back at some of the hard things that I went back, or that I've been through, and I think about how much fun it was through that time and trying to achieve the goals and going past even little milestones can be such a huge accomplishment and bring you so much joy. So, Mr. Craig, I would like to ask you, talk about that. What do you think about the journey? And then the reason why I ask you this is I know you're working right now, and I know you're hustling, and you're always working day and night, and I know it's fun for you. So what do you think about the journey, Mr. Craig? I'm Jason, and I'm out.
Well, what do I think about the journey? I know everybody's seen that picture where the guy is climbing up the mountain, this little cartoon character. He's climbing because he wants to get to the peak. And then he gets to the peak and he puts his hand over and he pulls himself over. And then he looks up and there's like just enormous, another set of peaks. It just goes on forever. And yeah, I agree. I used to, and sometimes I get in that headspace where I want to get to the finish line. But I think that in going through so many of these different journeys lately in the last few years, I realized that there really, at the end of it all, is not a destination. Everything is a milestone because it leads to the next thing. The podcast led to the teledudes. That's going to lead to something else. Who knows what's going to happen? But the beauty of the journey and realizing that the journey is what it's all about, and that's the fun part, is that it helps you understand how important it is to live in the present moment. You've got to live in the present, to just notice everything around you, right? Time just keeps ticking, as Steve Miller once said. But the time is going. So if remember when you're a kid, you think about how you want to get to the next birthday or the next Christmas or whatever, the next thing. You're always kind of wishing time away. Now, I like to savor it. You did not catch me working. I was actually scrolling through some Book of Fash, watching some funny videos about Karens, which was very, actually, kind of created a little anxiety watching these videos. I don't know why everybody's yelling at each other. But yeah, this journey, this one has been a lot of fun. The last journey, building out the agency vault with Neil was phenomenal. We learned so much about putting it all together. And then I think about opening the agency last November. So opening the third location, man, that was like, I thought, not only did I open the agency, but I also bought the building all at the same time. So we closed on the day that we opened. We closed on that building, signed the papers, and opened on the same day. So it was insane. And I thought, before that, there's no way that I can make this all happen. The level of stress was just, through the roof. And now I look back at it and it's like, well, that was easy. We got through that. Now we're working on this other thing. And so it's just funny how we build up to that defining moment of, with the opening, and then the month, and then the next milestone. Each milestone always in our head seems to be this enormous summit, this Everest. And we get to the top and it's just like, we just leveled up, dink. And now you're at the next boss level. So it's fun. It's been an awesome ride. I look forward to many, many, many more years. But remember, when the journey's over, it's dirt naps. So that's why I'm enjoying doing this. This is what's fun. I love doing this. So you tell me, Mr. Jason, what was one of the defining moments where something or some way of doing something where you thought you may have nailed it, and then all of a sudden you thought, oh, crap, back to you.
Oh, Mr. Craig, you threw it back at me. It's like the hot potato. Hot potato, hot potato. A little bit of the Wiggles. I listen to a lot of that these days. Anyways, back to your question, I honestly think as far as things like not working out the way I play, I mean, they never do, right? And then you start doing something and then it starts going right. I've finally learned that when something goes right, just kind of keep it that way. But I always keep searching for other ways to do stuff. And through all of my journeys, I've realized that, like, me personally, I love trying to problem solve things, and I love trying to take things to the next level. So for me, I just, nothing ever really works out right away. When it does work out, I continue to push the boundaries. Kind of like when you're working out and you can finally lift a certain amount, you keep going. So yeah, I mean, literally everything. I mean, everything with the agency, everything in my life, it's just constant pushing, never being satisfied, which can be a bad thing, right? That's what we've been told. But I mean, you got to appreciate what you have, be grateful for what you have, but I don't ever rest on that. I can't ever be completely 100% I'll be satisfied with it, but I'm not satisfied with stopping there. Even if trying to get to the next level doesn't work out, I'm still going to try to do that. And I'm always going to try. So, Mr. Craig, this will be the last one. But for you tell me, what drives you? What is the thing that you like to do? And what would you say your superpower is? Like through all of your journeys, what do you like to do, man? Let everybody know. Mr. Craig, back to you.
Are you kidding me? So what drives me and what is my superpower? I mean, these are some pretty complex questions, and I don't... Okay. So what drives me? I think that I can get distracted very easily and I can get bored very quickly. So I'll look for the next fun or next exciting or next interesting or challenging thing to do. With the agency, it was building it, putting it in, and then getting the right people in place, and then building out the teams and the structure and the processes so that things could hum along on their own. And that was a challenge of its own. And then opening the new one and figuring out a whole different way to to do it with different teams and different hiring strategies, totally different situation. That was a challenge, which then after a while that gets a little old and got to move to the next thing. So now you and I are working on some projects which are also a lot of fun. Eventually we'll probably move into some other stuff. So I think that is, so I'm driven by the need to do more, the need to build. I like to build. I like the coming up with the plan and then executing on the plan. That's fun. I think that my superpower, which can also potentially be my kryptonite, is that I think that I think quickly on my feet, and that can either be to my advantage or sometimes to my detriment, because sometimes things will come out that maybe shouldn't have come out because I didn't think that through, and then boom. But then also a lot of times it can work out. So, just I guess pulling the proverbial trigger, if you will. And that, my friends, is going to be the coffee talk.
Hey, you've got to check out the Insurance Dudes Inner Circle, coming soon, where you get extended interviews as well as live coffee talks in our private Facebook group. Join the mailing list today at theinsurancedudespodcast.com. Hey, thanks for checking out the Insurance Dudes. Hey, please subscribe. We got some really great stuff coming out.